So Konstantin Kisin is such a articulate voice for the case of Israel. And he wasn't someone that was super pro-Israel. He was kind of a bit of a fence sitter, more of an interviewer, just trying to understand both sides of the argument. But recently he said, I'm coming out in support of Israel because he feels the facts and the morality of it all is clear. But here he is in a debate with Saifuddin Amos, who is, I don't want to say pro-Palestine, anti-Israel, because pro-Palestine is just a cover, in my view, for being anti-Israel, because there's such clear double standards, demonization, and all the rest of it. Just look at the fact that there's no people out protesting for the Druze of Syria right now, but they go in masses for the Palestinians. Why the double standards there if it's just about human rights? But anyway, here Konstantin Kisin so articulately in a debate with him makes the case for what Israel's doing in Gaza, which in a sane world we wouldn't have to make the case for this. But here he does, and he explains the clear moral difference between Israel and Hamas. And this is so important to understand. Have a watch.
Absolutely not the same thing.
Why are the
punishing people who are not involved
worthy of being rescued?
Hold on. The civilians who were murdered by Hamas on October 7th had nothing to do with the atrocities that you say are being committed against Palestinians, right?
And the civilians murdered by Israel had nothing to do with the atrocities committed by Hamas.
Except they were killed in an attempt to rescue hostages, right?
How is that different? The same thing that Hamas says.
Because Hamas killed
Hamas
civilians
here.
in order to kill civilians. The Israeli troops killed civilians in order to rescue hostages.
And defeat Hamas.
That's the difference.
No, the difference is Hamas took civilians hostages, and most likely the Israelis killed their own civilians. But even accepting the fact that Hamas killed civilians,
okay, so let's clarify that one point.
50,000 civilians over the last 9 months.
Let's clarify that one point. How?
That's a lie, by the way. It seems almost half of them are Hamas fighters. The lowest civilian to combatant ratio in the history of urban warfare.
How many civilians do you think Hamas killed on October 7th? Because you keep saying you're against targeting civilians, but it also sounds like you don't think they killed any civilians.
I haven't seen convincing evidence that they have. I think the majority of the civilian deaths were from friendly fire.
So how many would you say that they did kill Hamas?
I would love to see an official investigation into this, but it's very telling that Israel won't have an investigation into this.
How many would you say that they've killed? I mean, it's a simple question.
I don't know. I don't know. Well, I haven't done an investigation, but I'd like to see one. And I think it's very telling that they won't do one.
No. But that's not answering my question, right? That girl whose dead body we saw being driven off in the back of a truck, was she killed by Israeli forces?
No.
So that's one. That's one that we can say was definitely killed by Hamas, okay?
Yeah.
Right. How many more do you think were probably killed by Hamas?
I'm telling you, I don't know. I could make up a number.
Is it 10? Is it 100? Is it 1,000? How many?
I don't know. I'd like to see an investigation into this. But you know what I do know?
But does he want to see an investigation into the 50,000 civilians he said that were killed by Israel? Does he want to know how many of them are Hamas? Why isn't he interested in that? There he says, absolute clear claims. They're all 50,000 civilians in Gaza. But when Hamas have GoPros on their heads to slaughter, torture, mutilate, rape, and take hostage Israelis, I don't know. Who knows? We've got to have investigation.
You're absolutely certain about Hamas figures about how many Palestinians have been killed, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not certain about their figures. I know what is going on in Gaza, and I know that there is no way that you could destroy an entire city of 2 million people and not kill at least tens of thousands of people.
Okay.
There's been tens of thousands of deaths. And I know because I know people in Gaza. I know people who know people in Gaza, and I know just how many of the people they know have been dead. I think what's been reported.
I'm not disputing that lots of people have been killed in Gaza.
Yeah, and I think
what I am disputing that Hamas didn't kill civilians. Hamas killed a lot of civilians on October 7th.
Yes, but Israel has killed a lot more civilians, and this is what you.
No, but the comparative game there is irrelevant to me. We killed a lot more German civilians than Germany killed our civilians in World War II. I think that's perfectly justified.
This is what I mean when I say Zionist NPC. We can kill as many of them as we can, as we want, because that's justified, because we are reacting, because we are just, because we are trying to get our hostages back. Nothing they do is justified. It's not. It only
That's the one bit of sense that he's spoken of all day. Yes, we can act responsibly to defeat the enemy and take back our people and fight people that threaten our security and want to kill us. Yes. And no, nothing that a genocidal death cult organization wants to do is legitimate at all. Correct. First thing he got right. Well done.
Only works in your brain. Because you have
Safedin, are you even listening to what I'm saying? You keep saying the phrase, nothing they do is justified. I just said to you 3 times now, 3 times, if Hamas had attacked Israeli military installations and IDF troops and killed IDF troops and Israeli military installations were destroyed, that to me would be a completely different thing. So it's not that nothing they do is justified.
But
well, by the way, I mean, it would be a different thing, but I still don't think that there's any justification for that. It's like Russia going in to Ukraine. People say, well, you can't justify that. It's wrong. Even if, now, yes, they are targeting civilians too, but primarily if they can defeat the Ukrainian army, then they'll win here. But the point is that it's not justified to go into a sovereign country's territory and try to destroy their army and then their people. And this comes down to the key point here. Point number 1, as you can see here, the anti-Israel cause is based on lies. It's based on nothingness. It's just, this is my view, but everything I say is absolute gospel truth about what's happening in Gaza, and however much there may be truth about what Hamas did on October 7th, we dismiss, we deny, we say we don't know. It's called destination journalism. I have the destination in my head already, and then I work backwards from there. We see the exact same thing with Holocaust denial. No, we can't allow the Jews, we can't validate their suffering, so we have to find a way to claim that there's no evidence there. It's a real derangement. And it's a derangement that, though it might not manifest as extreme as a Hamas fighter, he still has part of that same problem of Jew hatred that just cannot accept the Jewish people's sovereignty, their right to live in their ancient God-given homeland. And for those that say, yeah, but you're just excusing everything that Israel does, and it's like, it all comes back to what they're trying to say, that Israel is the one that's causing the problems, and the Arabs, the Palestinians, are just responding, they're just resisting. They're the ones who have been wronged. But once you understand this key point, that Arab and Islamic anti-Semitism predates Israel's rebirth, that this has nothing to do with getting a state of their own and everything to do with age-old anti-Semitism, then you totally transform the conversation and ruin the narrative. And that's why we've created a new documentary, which I'm going to show you the trailer for now, which you can watch if you want to click on the link in the description, where the title of the documentary is Arab Anti-Semitism Before Israel's Re-establishment. Have a watch. Picture yourself. It's 1834 and you're a Jew living in Tzfat, which is a northern city in Israel, then under the Ottoman Empire. Your family is part of this ancient city's spiritual heart for generations. You study Torah, you trade in the market, and live quietly among your Arab neighbors. But one day, a mob storms your street, shouting, "Kill the Jews!" Your home is looted, your synagogue burned, your loved ones beaten. This isn't about Israel. Israel won't exist for 114 years. This isn't about settlements, the IDF, or the 1948 displacements. This is raw, violent hatred aimed at you for being a Jew. And it's not just in Palestine, it's part of a centuries-old story of anti-Semitism woven into Arab and Islamic history, from the dawn of Islam to the streets of Hebron. The claim that this conflict began with Israel's creation, the Nakba, or modern policies, is a farce, a distortion that collapses under history's magnifying glass. Welcome to JTV Plus. I'm Ollie Annisfeld, and today we're uncovering a history too often buried, the relentless anti-Semitism among Arabs in Palestine before 1948, rooted in a broader Arab and Muslim hostility that began with Islam's inception in the 7th century. To watch this JTV Plus documentary and access much more premium content, click on the link in the video description.